Welcome to part 10 of the Deep Space Nine space station build-up. The lower section now is all but complete. There's only a couple of little jobs that I need to do just to finish this off. But we've got the little SMDs in on the spokes, as I like to call them. And they will just help to light up the windows that are down the sides there. What I will need to do on the upper section is put another light source in around that part there, and then also another little strap of LEDs around there. The reason why I haven't put those in all on this bottom section is because there just isn't the room to do it. Unfortunately, the space inside this model is very, very tight indeed. I've also got the little SMDs on the pylons as well. They're starting to look good. I just need to black the outside of those to stop the light shining towards you. They're not meant to do that. The light's just meant to focus purely onto the pylons, but at the moment it's kind of like a 360 degree at the moment. So I'll just bring the camera down on the stand for you so you can actually see the pylons. Okay, so the pylons are coming into view there. So there you go, there are the pylons. Now I'm not sure whether you can see the points of light, but we've got one just there, and then there's also another one just there. So what I'll do is I'll just get this turned on. I've got this working from a DC pack now. I am finding that the batteries are having a bit of a problem trying to cope with the amount of power that the lights are starting to need now. So there you go. So you can see the effect that we're after on the pylons. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the lights out quickly for you so you can see what they look like in sort of semi-darkness. So there you go, so they're starting to look pretty good, and it's starting to look like the vision that I've had floated around in my brain for quite some time. So I'm actually quite pleased with the progress that I'm making, and I'm sort of really happy with the way that these the lighting effect is going. I did use a 10k resistor on those little SMDs just to help bring the power right down, so it just gave it a glow rather than a full-on glare. So as I say, I just need to light block the back of those, which will only take a few minutes to do. What I'm going to do now, because this is almost complete, as I say, just need to do that. I'm going to start working on the upper section of the docking ring and the upper pylons. And as soon as I've got some progress on those, I will come back to you. Richard back with you for another quick update. We've got the top half of the docking ring done in the grey primer. This has basically had 3 coats of primer. It's had the white primer, black primer, and then the grey primer over the top. I am still finding though, if I get my torch, you might be able to see it there, we're still getting some light leaks coming through, even though it's had 6 coats of primer on it. It's actually unbelievable that after 6 coats of primer we're still getting this level of bleed through, or light leak coming through. So I think what I'm going to need to do on this section is around these areas where you've got the sensor bands and these little areas where you've got the little oblongs, I'm really going to need to go along in those with black paint and basically just light block those from the inside to see if that will actually minimize the light leaks coming through, because I don't want to put any more light blocking on the outside of this, otherwise I will start to lose all the fine detail that we've got. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and hopefully that will take care of it. I'm actually glad that I spotted that and double checked the paint on this before I actually painted it and sealed it up and then found it. So I think it's worth sort of double checking and then triple checking and then quadruple checking everything, especially with this kit. It seems to be a bit tricky when it comes to blocking the light. So I'll get on with that, and as soon as I've got that done and the light's blocked, I'll let you know. Richard's back with you for another update. So we've been working on the upper section of the docking ring. We've got the primary colour down. We've also got the yellow down for the sensor bands and the grey wash over the top of that, and then the clear lacquer over the top of that to help protect the paint. And as you can most probably remember from previous segment on this video, I was saying that we was having some problems with light leaks around the sensor bands. I believe it's because the paint couldn't penetrate all the way down into the nooks and crannies, which was causing the light leaks. So really the only way that I could get around that one is by, on the inside, just painting over the sensor bands from the inside. Now you could say, well, why not paint over the whole lot? Well, the answer to that question would be the fact that around these kind of areas we do need to get some lights in, and we wouldn't be able to get those in if the whole thing was painted in matte black. So that was why I only did paint the sensor bands on the inside. So one thing that I did actually notice, and thank God I managed to sort of get the masking tape out and resolve the issue before it become even worse, was on the top sensor bands. Now on the bottom they're really small. Well, they're not really small, but they're quite small, and on the top they're fairly big. And if we just zoom in on these sensor bands here, you can see that you've got structural supports that are coming down on the inside of these that are meant to be painted the same colour as the hull. And it was only really just as I'd finished doing the masking and I thought, oh great, I'm ready to spray, that I realised that we had these columns here. So luckily enough I was able to get some thin masking tape and put that down in its place to stop myself from making a horrendous mistake. So that's pretty cool. So I would recommend anybody doing one of these to mask off those areas first before you get too carried away with the paint. So it's good that I stopped that. So if we just zoom back out again, so on the outside of the hull, what I need to do is just put some LED tape on the top here for the lights at the base of the pylons on the inside. Sorry, excuse me. I also need to get the floodlights put in on either side of the pylons to light up the pylons, as we've done with the lower ones. And then I also need to drill some channels through this little section here to run the wires through. On the inside, what we need to do is put some LED strips in this section here to help light up the inside of the ship around there. And we also need to get some more of those little SMDs in here to help push the light up that way. And we also need to run some more wires around the outside of, or sorry, on the inside of the docking ring for the anti-collision lights that sit at the top and the bottom of the pylons, and also the warning beacons that sit on the tops of the defensive weapon cells. So I need to crack on and start getting all of that stuff done. That most probably will take a while. Oh, the other thing that I have actually noticed that I need to do as well is, if I just pan in a bit, when we're spraying the model, because it was the other way up, didn't realise that we've got the edges of these thrusters here as well that are going to stick out. So I'm going to need to go along and paint those. I will more than likely, to be honest, just paint those black first to help try and block any light coming through, and then paint over those with the primary colour. And because they're so small, I will more than likely do that by hand. I think it's going to be quicker to actually do that by hand than it is to try and mask everything off and then spray it down. So I think that's going to be the best way to do that. So once I've got some progress done on this, I will come back to you with another update. Richard, back with you for another quick update. I've got the edges now all sorted out around the thrusters. So that's all done. I just need to just go over a little bit of grey wash when that's fully dried, just to help it blend in. I've also, I'm not sure whether you're going to see it from that angle or not, but we've also put some paint basically in with the thrusters. Just moved the camera in a little bit. There you go, you can see it there. That took quite a while to do. I think it's taken me about 6, maybe 7 hours actually, just to go in, paint all the thrusters, and where I had a little slip, then go back over with a primary colour to get that sort of looking fairly straight. It's looking fairly straight now, which is good. I'm not going to waste too much time on it because they're really small areas and you can't really see them that well. But it just adds a little bit more detail to it. So I'm happy with the progress on that. I have decided, however, that I'm going to get all the lights in this first, and get all the panel lines put on there on the outside and also on the pylons before I actually put the pylons on. The reason why I'm going to do it that way is because the last time on the lower section, I found it a bit tricky to actually get the masking tape in and do the painting whilst the pylons were actually in place. So this time I thought, well, you know, I'll do the panel painting whilst the pylons are off. That way it's going to get a bit easier. I'm going to have a little bit more elbow room and you know, a little bit more room for my fat fingers. So I'm going to carry that on and get that done and get all the wiring in. I'm going to update you on the next video because this video is starting to get a bit long in the tooth really. So I'll catch up with you in the next video. So until then, thanks for watching and please do take care.